Hey guys, and welcome back to Hike Oregon. Thank you so much for watching this PCT recap video. If you haven't seen my PCT prep series, I will link that right here. In the PCT recap series, I'm basically going through all of my gear that I took on my recent backpacking trip and going through what I liked, what I didn't like, what worked for me, what I would have done differently, and all of that. So in today's video, I will be talking about my clothes and my shoes that I took with me. So first, let's start off with my clothes bag. This is one of the Z-Packs Cuban fiber stuff sacks, and these are really awesome. They have a Velcro and then roll top closure, and you basically stuff all your clothes in, and then you can like make it as small as you want. It basically like sucks all the air out of it, and you can get your clothes bag to be really small. So I highly recommend these stuff sacks. Next, let's talk about underwear. I took 4 pairs of underwear and then a cotton sleep pair as well. I've always found it really pleasant to get out of a pair of underwear and put my cotton sleep underwear on. Next, socks. So I took 2 pairs of these Eugene toe socks. Sorry, like I mentioned earlier, this is like post-trail, so everything is dirty, but these are what the toe socks looks like. These are the mid-weight ones, so they're not the liners and they're not the thick ones. These are like the runners socks, I think is what they're called, but these are my favorite of the Eugene toe socks. They work awesome. I used to get blisters in between my toes when backpacking, and that is no longer an issue because of these babies. I absolutely love these, and I will continue to always wear them. Day hiking, backpacking, I think I've done away with my Darn Tough, just regular socks. But speaking of Darn Toughs, I do take these as sleep socks. These are like the heavier weight ones. They're really squishy at the bottom. They're super awesome for sleep socks. They're super warm and just so comfy to, like, again, after you've cleaned your feet with like baby wipes or your camp towel and some water or something, it just feels so nice to get into a clean pair of socks that hasn't been infiltrated with dust and rocks and dirt and all of that stuff. It's really nice to be able to get some clean socks on. Since we're talking about sleeping, I guess I'll mention my sleep layers. These are my mid-weight layers from REI. They look like this, and then the leggings here as well. They were a little warm, honestly, especially with my 5-degree Z-Pack sleeping bag. I could have probably gotten away with something a little bit lighter weight, but again, I have these already. I'm not gonna go out and buy something else. I'd rather, like I said, be a little too warm and like have to take something off rather than be too cold. I guess since we're still talking about sleeping, I did bring a beanie for sleeping as well. There were some nights where temperatures were a little bit cooler, and I would say maybe in the low 40s, and I always find it really nice to have a hat to put on in the middle of the night. Even if you're not cold when you're going to sleep, it's nice to be able to put this on when you are getting a little bit chilly, because you do lose a lot of heat from your head. And then for chilly mornings or cold days, which we never had, it's just getting warmer and warmer here in Oregon, I do have some Reebok leggings that I took as well. I did like putting these on in the evenings and in the mornings as well. For hiking during the day, I did have my Gymshark tank top. This was far too warm. Thick, heavy material. I actually ended up just getting rid of this and hiking just with my Columbia PFG shirt. This guy is so awesome. I loved this shirt so much. It kept you cool. You can see here it's vented in the back. Like whenever there's a breeze, it just like instantly cools you down. So I ended up like just wearing this and my sports bra and just kind of bagging this tank top because layering both was just way too hot. And then my sports bra got thrown in the wash, so I will insert what that looks like here. It's the Irate brand, and it was totally awesome. I absolutely loved the sports bra for backpacking. It didn't have any sort of seams or anything that could rub or cause any sort of issues. So I highly recommend the Irate brand. A little bit spendy, but so worth it. I have never found such a comfortable sports bra ever. These are my Patagonia Barely baggies. They are super awesome. I loved hiking in these so much. I hike in these on day hikes now. I don't just use them for backpacking. They're super comfortable. They don't ride up in any weird places. They don't cause chafing. They have pockets, which is really great. Right here, they have pockets on both sides, which is awesome for especially a through hike. If you're in town or anything like that, you can just put your money or your wallet or whatever you need into the pockets. So highly recommend these shorts. And then outer layers, I did have my Frog Tog pants. Super attractive, but they're a little bit ripped at this point. Frog Togs are not very sturdy, shall we say, but they are very inexpensive, and I treated them with permethrin. So these were my Mosquito pants. Highly recommend if you are backpacking in Oregon in July or even early August. Mosquito pants are a lifesaver. So these are super lightweight and basically were just Mosquito pants. And then I did take a rain jacket, thought maybe I would use that as like a mosquito rain jacket. Honestly, I never pulled this out. This is my Outdoor Research Helium 2, and I never pulled this out. I never wore it. I probably should have just left it at home. It did not rain. It was never cold enough to need a windbreaker, and my puffy coat sufficed as a mosquito protection device. And then speaking of my puffy coat, I know in my PCT prep video clothes edition I did say that I was going to bring my REI 850 fill down jacket, but I ended up actually returning that this past spring, and I got a synthetic jacket instead. This is what it looks like. It's Marmot. I absolutely love it. I also treated it with permethrin, so it was a nice mosquito shield, and it was plenty warm. I never got cold. Obviously it's July, it's not cold, but I did wear this, I would say, every night, and every morning I would put it on, and it was just awesome. And then last but not least, my trucker hat here for the sun. It's super dirty and super gross, but this is my hat that I wear. I didn't wear it too often, but there were definitely days where there was limited time in the trees and like a lot of sun exposure. So those were the days where I would put this on and wear it to protect my face. Now let's get into shoes real quick. For camp shoes, I do have, these are so gross. I have my Z Trails here. These are my Zero shoes, and they were fine. One of the things I don't like about it is this back thing you have to open, and it's kind of awkward to get into the shoe. So that I don't love about it. They're also really bad for swimming, which I was surprised. I thought they'd be decent for swimming, but apparently this fabric on the sandal stretches out a ton when you get it wet. So I like jumped into a lake and I tried to swim, and these are like weighing me down. They're like going like this with every stroke of my leg, and it was like, yeah, kind of crazy. So not that great for swimming, but great camp shoes. They're super lightweight, a little annoying to get in and out of, but what can you say? They're super lightweight. And then for my hiking shoe, oh god, these are so dirty. Oh god, just sand just came out of these. For my hiking shoes, I have my Ultras here. I know in my PCT prep video, you guys saw that I had some New Balance Leadville shoes. I did end up hiking in those one last time before the trip, and I did a pretty steep hike and realized that they are way too narrow for me. So 2 days before my PCT trip, I had to go to REI and find new shoes, which is not good and I don't recommend. But luckily these Ultras, these are men's Ultras. They're the Superior 3.5s. And they're in men's because the women's were a little too narrow for me. Loved them right out of the box. They were great, and I will be doing a full review on these later, so I'm not going to talk too much about them now. So that is all for this video of my PCT recap series. Hope you enjoyed. If you have any questions about any of the clothing that I wore on the trip, just comment below and I'll make sure to get back to you. Make sure to follow me over on Instagram. That's where you'll see all of the pictures from my recent backpacking trips. And if you're interested in hiking or backpacking here in Oregon, check out my website, hikeoregon.net, where you will find information about hikes all over the state. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you on the next adventure.